that goes along with that.
Thank you so much.
Now, I know, Eric, you might have heard this question so many times, but the benefit for our viewers who have never heard of this NGO, what is Inkulu Freeheid?
Inkulu Freeheid, and firstly, thank you for the opportunity. Inkulu Freeheid is a youth-led organization that's made up of young people such as ourselves across the country who believe that the time has come for my generation, our generation, to start uniting people and groups behind the cause of a deeper freedom and really mobilizing people to become masters of their own destiny.
Nombuso, there is so much being talked about the Born Frees, and there's really this grouping of youth that are completely disconnected to the discourse, the South African elections, freedom, issues around how we got our freedom. What do you say to that?
Well, we say to the Born Frees, this is a time in our democracy which is very important for us in terms of how we define our future as young South Africans, especially with our Vote Our Voice campaign, which is all about youth engagement and increasing the voter participation for this coming election. We say, go out there, we are the future of South Africa, so we need to start being conscious of what is happening in our society and how we use the gifts that we have, the voices that we have, and the consciousness that we have of what's happening in the world around us to make a mark in this coming election.
You highlighted two things: participation, consciousness, growing that number of those that are interested. Eric, I can only imagine as an organization, it's easier said than done, because there needs to be de facto, there needs to be government involvement, political parties involvement, IEC. Talk to me about that relationship.
Absolutely. I think the work has been done by people such as ourselves across the country. It's by no means a singular effort. And like you say, it does require a lot of work, especially at a local level. But to a large extent, young people need to learn how to challenge authority effectively and responsibly. And the Our Vote, Our Voice campaign has a soapbox movement, which is really about young people occupying public spaces and taking back their street corners, taking back their communities, and interacting with power, whether that power is political, whether it's in government, whether it's in business, in a way that really takes us one step forward. And that's really how the only way that South Africa will move forward is if young people decide that they should take control, and that the elections in 2014, 20 years after democracy, are an opportune time to do so.
So, as the national coordinator, talk to me about that youth voter and education strategy, because that needs to be compiled and then it needs to be effectively dispersed, and everybody has to get the same message at the same time. It's a colossal effort. It sounds like a colossal effort.
So what we do at Inkulu Freeheid is that we have currently compiled a toolkit, which is the voter education and registration toolkit, which comprises of information with regard to how to vote, when to vote, to know if you are registered to vote, as well as our soapbox toolkit. As Eric had earlier said, one of the catalysts of our Vote Our Voice campaign is really the soapboxes, which really moves to an inclusive South Africa where young people are able to challenge their local government, community leaders, as well as be part of the package in terms of how we transform decision making in the country moving forward. So the toolkits are really an instrument and a mechanism that is distributed to our organizers across the country, who set up soapboxes and distribute the voter education toolkit to the institutions of higher learning and to students, for them to be conscious of the importance of voting in the upcoming election.
Mouthful. Nombuso, thank you very much for joining me. That's Nombuso Ndlovu, who is the national coordinator. And then we've got the co-founder of Inkulu Freeheid, Erik de Ridder. To find out more about this really cool organization, I use the word cool very loosely, in no way to trivialize the organization, but to find out more how you can get involved. And of course, education is the key. The more you know, the more you are informed. Go to their website, www.inkulufreeheid.org/OVOV, or you can check them out on Twitter at Inkulu Freeheid. Go and have a chat to them. We take an ad break. You don't go anywhere.